Hi, this is Simphiwe Njangas. I'm going to be facilitating this session of the workshop Financial Intelligence 101, which is brought to you by Future Now. The secrets of the rich. That's what we're talking about. Why the rich have this and all of us we're struggling. There's some secrets that they know. I mean, that's obvious. There is what I call uncommon sense. There's common sense, which is, well, common sense is for everyone, but there's uncommon sense, which is for a select few. There's people know things that other people do not know. That is why right now, every day, every 24 hours, there's about 4 trillion US dollars that exchanges hands globally. Money is plentiful for those who understand the simple rules that govern it. I'm just an investor sharing what information that I have collected. So this is actually for other people who are ambitious like me, who are risk takers, who make things happen. This is not suitable for everyone. Just for those people who are like me and the average people, well, this won't work for you. Now let's get into business. Let's just cut to the chase. The facts. What are the facts? These are the facts. One, the rich get richer. I mean, we know that. The rich are getting richer. At the same time, the poor are getting poorer. It's not nice. We don't like it, but that's how it is. This is the big part that I want to talk about mainly today, which is the middle class gets deeper in debt. Now, that's a huge problem. But why? Why are things like this? Let's look at each sector in perspective. Start with the poor. The poor are always living in survival mode. They're always trying to survive. In other words, all their income, all their money is spent on basic necessities, the bare necessities. They spend on food, clothing, shelter, the basics. And that's where their money goes. So all their income goes out as soon as it comes in, it just goes out in expenses. And these expenses keep growing faster than the income that they're getting because of inflation, amongst other things. Thus, they keep getting poorer. So the poor are getting poorer. What about the rich? The same in the same world, even in the same town or same places, you get the rich. These guys, they understand the principles of wealth creation. They could start out poor, they could lose all their money, be like the poor, live in the same place as the poor, but very soon they are out of the place and already they're back in being rich. Why? Because there's certain things that they understand. They understand the principles of wealth creation. These guys do not have money, they own income. Everyone has money, but the rich, it's not the money that they have. They don't really have much money. They have income. That's what they have that sets them apart from other people. What am I talking about? Let's go back to grade 8. In grade 8, standard 6 accounting class, this is what I learned. Assets are things that bring money into the business. In other words, it's things that add value. Things that we ought to call assets are the things that add value. That's what the rich have. Examples are shares. They have shares in companies. They own property. They get rental income from the properties that they own. And they have businesses. They own businesses. They buy businesses. They build businesses. They spend their money on information, books, and courses. And they attend workshops like this one. That's why they keep getting rich. It's not just the fact that they have money. They don't really have money, but what they have is income, and they keep adding on the income. They keep making themselves better. So the more pipelines they buy or build, the more the income they have, because they keep updating themselves. They keep upgrading themselves. Thus, the rich get richer. Now, there are three types of education. The first type is academic. This is school. We go to school up to grade 12. What you're just doing, you are learning to read, you're learning to write, you're learning to count. That's all. Now, the second type of education that is there is called professional education. Now, professional education is basically skill development. After finishing matric, you go to varsity, you learn how to become a lawyer, how to become a doctor. Basically, what skills does a doctor need to be able to function? That's what you get. Then there's the other type of education that a lot of people do not get. It's called financial education or financial literacy, hence Financial Literacy 101. Now, this is wealth creation and wealth management. This is what the rich teach their children at home. A lot of us did not get access to these opportunities because our parents didn't know that information. It's the uncommon sense. Now let's come to the endangered species. Most people who are in the working class are in the middle class. They are neither rich nor poor. They just work very hard, that's all. And the painful part is that they're greatly misinformed about wealth because you find that their parents were not rich. Their parents did not have this uncommon sense. So they were taught what their parents know, and hence they do not know, they don't have the proper information or they're misinformed about wealth. Why? It's simple. Because financial literacy is not taught at school, it's taught at home. At school, they teach you to read, to write, to count. They give you skills development, but they do not teach you financial intelligence. That's why you find doctors who are good at what they do. They're good doctors. If you're sick, they will fix you up, but they're sinking in debt. You find lawyers, they're brilliant lawyers, but they are sinking in debt. You find accountants, business managers, well-educated people, but they're sinking in debt. Why? Financial literacy is not taught at school. Therefore, most of the people in the middle class, this is the painful thing that happens, most of the people in the middle class are buying liabilities thinking that they're buying assets. They tell you you've got assets. When they list their list of assets, they write those things and only to find that those things are not assets, they're liabilities. Now they think more money will solve their problems. So they fight for a raise, go back to school to get a raise. They hit the streets, hi, we want more money, hi, 8%, later, Then when they get the extra money, what do? They buy more debts. Last nail on the coffin is this one. They teach their children to do the same. So the next generation is stuck. This is the financial information that they get. Now, who in their right mind? Okay, let's take a step back. Now, class, what is a liability? A liability is something that takes money out of the business. Personally, it's something that takes money out of your pocket. That's a liability. Now, when a middle class person gets extra cash, aka a bonus, what do they say? I'm going to deposit a... You can fill in the missing word. These are the famous words. And everyone says they bought an asset. Even the bank agrees that you have an asset. This car is your asset. This house is your asset. All these things are your asset. But who does the asset really belong? That's what the bank and everyone else fails to tell you. They don't tell you who the asset belongs to. Stop paying. You will know who owns your car. Stop paying, you will know who owns the furniture. Stop paying, you will know who owns the house. Are they really your assets? That's the asset test. The result is that you find a lot of people in the middle class keep buying debt and expenses, aka interest payments and extra expenses. They're buying these things and they're piling them, but their income is getting less. Until they find themselves at a point where they are just surviving. Their paycheck is still written the same thing, but that value of that money has dropped. The money that they have, even in their investments, the money that they have in investments has dropped its value, and they keep adding more and more expenses. Now, that's dangerous. With inflation escalating the cost of living, the middle class is being wiped out. Now, this is painful. And we are heading for a two-class economy. We are going to find ourselves in a point where we have the rich and the poor, no middle class. Because the people in the middle class, some of them will be wiped out by the debts and the extra expenses. Their income will be gone. Before long, they will be living like the people in the poor, living from hand to mouth. Now, the conclusion. In the words of Robert Kiyosaki, I would say this: learn what the rich know. Then do what the rich do, so that you can have what the rich have. Learn what the rich know, then do what the rich do to have what the rich have. Thank you for spending your time to view this video. I am Ngobezo Mkaze. Live long and prosper.